The moment the little girl pressed her trembling fingers against the windowpane, drawing a shaky heart that quickly faded into the fog of her breath, something inside her broke. Her eyes darted to the man beside her. His smile was fake, too wide, too forced. She swallowed hard, clutching the stuffed bunny in her lap. It wasn't just a toy. Inside, she had hidden a folded napkin that read only 3 desperate words: "Please help me." Outside the small-town diner, a group of bikers had just parked their roaring Harleys after a long ride through the mountains. The leader, a rugged man named Jake, wiped his hands on a leather vest covered in patches from veteran charities and rescue missions. To the world, they looked like trouble, loud, tattooed, intimidating. But they were far from it. They called themselves the Road Angels, a group of reformed veterans who spent their days helping stranded travelers and raising funds for kids in need. As they walked toward the diner, laughter echoing among them, Jake's eyes caught something odd. That little girl in the corner booth. She wasn't eating. She wasn't smiling. She was staring straight at him, eyes pleading, her lips forming silent words he couldn't hear. And then, she lifted her hand. 2 fingers together, palm facing inward. A small, almost unnoticeable gesture. Jake froze. He'd seen that sign before. It was a silent distress signal used to ask for help, one that had gone viral years ago to protect victims of abuse and abduction. His heart started pounding. Something was very, very wrong. The diner's shadow inside the diner, the man sitting across from her. Tall, clean, cut, maybe mid-40s, stirred his coffee without drinking it. He kept checking the door, watching who came in and out. When the waitress smiled kindly at the girl, he snapped, "We're fine. She's shy. Leave us alone." The waitress hesitated. "All right, sir," she said softly, but she didn't look convinced. Jake sat down at a booth near the back, close enough to see but far enough to not raise suspicion. He nodded toward the girl, then discreetly tapped the table twice. A silent signal to his crew. "Something's up," whispered Tina, one of the bikers, her braided hair swinging as she leaned in. Jake didn't answer. He just kept watching. The girl was now holding her bunny tightly, whispering into its fur. The man's phone buzzed, and when he looked away, she subtly raised her hand again. That same signal, that was enough. Jake stood, stretched his arms casually, and made his way to the counter. "Coffee black," he said, loud enough for the man to hear. Then, in a lower tone, he leaned toward the waitress. "That little girl, the one with the bunny. Does she look okay to you?" The waitress blinked, startled. "I don't think so. Something feels off, but I can't just accuse someone." Jake nodded. "You won't have to. Just keep him here a few minutes." When the man went to the restroom, the girl quickly opened her bunny's seam and slid out a crumpled napkin, hiding it under her plate. Jake saw it. He approached, crouched slightly beside the table, and smiled gently. "Hey, sweetheart. That's a cute bunny you got there," he said softly. Her eyes filled with tears. "Can you read it?" she whispered. Jake nodded and lifted the napkin. The words hit him like a punch to the chest. "He's not my dad." He looked up. The man was walking back. Jake quickly folded the napkin and smiled as if nothing had happened. "My niece has one just like it," he said, stepping back. The man smiled stiffly. "Yeah, kids get attached to these things." Jake forced a chuckle, returned to his booth, and texted his crew under the table. 911, kidnap suspect. Don't let him leave. Want the atmosphere in the diner shifted. The laughter dulled, the air thickened with tension. Every biker subtly took a position. One by the door, one near the parking lot, one pretending to make a phone call by the window. Tina slipped out quietly and called the local sheriff. Possible child abduction. Route 14 diner, hurry. The man, perhaps sensing something was off, threw a $50 bill on the table. "Let's go, sweetheart," he said sharply, grabbing the girl's hand. Her lip trembled. She looked back at Jake. Their eyes met. "Now," Jake barked. The bikers moved as one. The man tried to pull her toward the door, but Rex, the biggest biker, blocked his path. "Going somewhere, buddy." "What's your problem?" The man spat. "This is my daughter." "Then why's she crying?" Rex shot back. The little girl sobbed, shaking her head. "He's not my dad." The diner fell silent. The man's face went pale. He released her hand, just for a second, and bolted for the back exit. Jake chased him through the kitchen, knocking over trays and chairs. The man darted outside, jumped into a car, and sped off, but not for long. 2 bikers had already mounted their motorcycles and were on his tail. Engines roared, tires screeched. The chase was on. Rain started to drizzle as the car swerved onto the highway. The bikers followed, headlights piercing the mist. Jake's heart thundered in sync with his engine. He radioed his team. "Keep distance, don't spook him. Cops are en route." The man kept glancing in his mirror, panicking. He tried to turn down a dirt road, but his tires lost traction. The car slid, hit a tree, and came to a stop. Jake dismounted, pulling the man out. "Who are you?" he demanded. The man sneered. "You think you're some hero. You have no idea who you're messing with." But his words were cut short by the flashing red and blue lights that appeared behind them. The sheriff stepped out, hand on his holster. "Step away from the man." Jake raised his hands, backing off. "He's the one. The girl said he's not her dad." The sheriff's radio crackled. "Confirmed missing child report from 2 counties over. Name Lily Jameson, age 8. The man's eyes widened. He tried to run, but 2 officers tackled him to the ground. Handcuffs clicked. It was over. Back at the diner, little Lily sat wrapped in a blanket, sipping hot cocoa. When Jake returned, bruised but smiling, she ran to him and hugged him tightly. "You saw me," she whispered. "Nobody ever sees me." Jake knelt down, his eyes misting. "I'll always see you, kiddo. You're safe now." A few hours later, her mother arrived. Tears streaming down her face as she embraced her daughter. The sight was almost too much to bear. Even the toughest bikers looked away, wiping their eyes. "Thank you," her mother whispered. "You saved my baby." Jake smiled softly. "She saved herself. We just listened." The story spread across town. How a group of scary-looking bikers had rescued a kidnapped girl because one of them recognized a silent hand signal. But to Jake and his crew, it wasn't about fame or praise. It was about something deeper. About not judging by appearances, about paying attention, and about kindness in a world that often forgets it. Weeks later, Lily's mother sent a photo to the road angels. Lily, smiling again, holding her same bunny, now stitched neatly at the seam. Below the photo was a note that read, "Because someone cared enough to see what others ignored, my little girl is home again. Thank you for being the angels you are." Jake framed it in their clubhouse. Right under it, he added a quote that became their motto: "Be the reason someone feels safe today." If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that kindness still exists in this world, please comment below what you felt. Have you ever witnessed something that didn't feel right and acted on it? Your words might inspire someone else to pay attention too. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Be kind always for more real, emotional stories that remind us of the power of compassion, courage, and hope. Because sometimes one small signal, one caring heart, can change everything.